Living Local Carolina with Katie Turner. Local trends, shopping, dining, and more. This is Living Local Carolina.
Well, I am so excited to be back in the kitchen today, and I'm joined by Chef Melinda. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be back.
Let's jump right on into it.
Wonderful.
What do you have for me today?
I have my best seller for you today. Even though with my layer cakes, the red velvet cake with cream cheese icing, it is the all-time best seller when I'm at shows. But for regular family events, it is the butter pound cake, the old-fashioned Southern butter pound cake.
I love a pound cake.
Yes, so I couldn't understand why I wouldn't be making very elaborate desserts, and people would be sitting there, you know, conversating, and then they would say, "What are you baking today?" And I'm like, "Just a vanilla pound cake." But that would be the sensation for them, is the smell of that butter pound cake, and bringing back old-fashioned memories, I think, is another reason why they just loved it.
It's just gorgeous.
So I made this last night, and I made sure that it was in servable sizes, so that it can hold whatever your topping is. So you don't want to cut it thin when you're going to put some really good stuff on it. So I'm going to serve up the first piece, and this is so versatile. You can serve it with any fruit topping that you would like, any ice cream, Cool Whip, but I'm going to do two things. I'm going to put fresh strawberries and some Cool Whip on them. So I'm going to take my little
We've got
utensils.
some cute tongs. Yes. We've got some cute little forks. She came prepared.
Love, love, love to serve, love to entertain. I think that's where my love of baking comes from, is loving to see the look on people's faces when they taste it for the first time. So here,
it's a love language, you know, like acts of service. I think that kind of falls into cooking.
It really does.
Maybe a little gifts too.
Yes, yes, these are perfect gifts. When I was a teenager and my budget was very limited, this was my best seller, was to put these in beautiful little cellophane bags and twist ties, you know, with whatever occasion it was, whether it was Valentine's Day or Christmas.
It's perfect for that.
Perfect. So as you can see,
those are some gorgeous.
Gorgeous. I was like, oh my goodness, this late in the season.
I know too.
Yes, I was so glad to be able to get these. So I'm going to put the
good.
first one together. We're going to get our Ready Whip together here.
Not sponsored, but sponsored by Ready Whip.
Yes. So normally I would make this homemade. My children have gotten so spoiled once I realized that you can make this homemade, and it's so much better.
Of course.
She's addicted to it, I must say. Any dessert that has the homemade whipped topping in it,
it's so good.
She's like, excuse me, may I have? Mom, please, can you save me some? So here is the very first bite for you.
Here's the verdict.
Yes. Wait to see what you think.
I want to get a little bit of everything in
have
this bite, so.
It's delicious. Even for breakfast.
That's money right there.
I'm just going to serve
You know how to make a pound cake, I'll tell you that.
Thank you so much.
My goodness.
Like I said, since I was 9, you know, just all of a sudden one day they asked me to make the family birthday cake from a box. And everybody would say, oh my gosh, this can't be from a box. Absolutely, it's not. And I was like, it is though. And they said, well, what's the secret? I'm like, I don't know. I just go by the box. But they were like, no, you're doing something different.
Yeah, you just have a gift, I guess.
It was just the gift coming forth.
Yeah.
And so from there, you know, just a little bit more. From there, of course, the question was, how are you going to start making homemade? And what are you going to make? And so that's where the challenges came in.
Oh, yeah.
So they just start challenging me, and I just kept going.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. Man, am I excited. Guys, in the studio today, I actually have a magician with me. Lion Flood, how are you doing?
I'm well. I'm excited to be here and just to embrace all this positive energy.
Oh yeah, we're all about positive energy on Living Local Carolina. But I want to know more about you.
Okay.
How did you get into magic in the first place?
That is the age-old question, and to give you the short answer, so I'm a retired Marine veteran.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. And I was injured, and I was recouping in the hospital. I had about 4 knee surgeries and couldn't move, and so I needed something to do. And I picked up a book and started reading, and it made me smile. And I started learning magic tricks, and eventually they would bring patients in to the room, and I would do tricks for them, little card tricks. And then when I was able to be mobile in a wheelchair, they would wheel me to other patients' room, and it kind of snowballed.
way.
Yeah, and it just picked up from that and just took off.
What you got?
All right, so I love using senses when I perform, right? So in this one, we're going to use 2 senses, sight and sound. What I would like to do is attempt to place this coin inside the bottle, just like that. Now,
No way.
so, and it's going to happen very close up, right? And I'm going to do it on the count of 3.
Okay.
Right? So watch. And I'm going to do it slow so everyone can see it. 1, 2. You know, 3 days ago when I tried this trick, no I'm kidding. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Now, how on earth did he just do that? Y'all.
And you can hold your hand out. I want you to verify that's an actual coin. It's
Dude.
yes.
Okay, when I read that you're good at close-up magic, I wasn't actually quite sure what close-up magic was,
Oh.
but like to actually be in front of it and
Yes.
watch it happen, it's wild.
Yes.
That was crazy.
And that's probably
That's
the
difficult to
best,
do.
Yeah, it's probably the best thing I love about magic, because stage magic and all that's great.
The smoke and the
Yes.
mirrors and everything.
But to be inches from it and to
Yeah.
see it literally go from here to there,
Love
it's indescribable sometimes. That emotion. Thank you. Thank you.
I loved that. Oh, and I love magic too. Well, good morning. Thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. Today I'm back with Everett from Looking Good Auto Detailing. Thanks for being with me today.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, today we're talking about ceramic coating 101. Why is this important? Why do our viewers need to be considering this for their cars?
So we buy a vehicle. If anybody's been paying attention to the market, the price of vehicles have gone up over the course of the last few years.
Yeah.
It's always been important to have some form of protection on your paint, whether it be wax, sealant, ceramic. With ceramic, it's just a longer lasting protection. So it protects your vehicle from the harmful UV rays of the sun, bird droppings, etching from bugs.
Yeah.
If you live closer to the beach, the air is kind of salty. It can cause oxidation or rust on your paint. So
We all know about that.
right, and even if like when you go to sell a vehicle, the resale value,
Yeah.
it maintains that resale value. So and it looks good.
Yeah.
So
Your car looks like brand new.
right, easy to maintain, the whole shebang. Like I don't know a downside to ceramic.
Yeah. So how long does it last once you get it
It
coated?
depends. It depends on a lot of factors. So it depends on the maintenance.
Okay.
So we have a 2-year coating, a 5-year coating, and a 9-year coating.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, it depends on the maintenance. It depends on the upkeep. It really just depends on that client and how well
Yeah.
they maintain that vehicle, whether it sits outside or in the garage, daily driver or not. Like it's a lot of different factors that go into how long the ceramic can actually last. The manufacturer guarantees that it's on the vehicle for X amount of years, but depending on how that client maintains it will determine that.
The longevity, and you're getting your bang for your buck there.
Right.
Well, you have a lot of different options at Looking Good Auto Detailing,
sure.
where you can kind of pick and choose, and you can walk people through that process
Right.
too, right?
Yeah, it's a lengthy process. So we have you, when you book, we have you book a consultation first.
Yeah.
So you come in, we'll inspect the vehicle, see what the needs of the vehicle are, and then kind of go from there. We'll give you our suggestions, and then you'll make an informed decision based on the information we gave you.
Love it. Okay, how can people get in contact with you and learn a little more?
We're at lookinggoodauto.com, or you can give us a call at 803-974-0709.
We'll be back right after this break with more Living Local Carolina.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today on Living Local Carolina. I think one of my favorite parts about this show is that we're able to highlight different artists across South Carolina, and that's why today I am in studio with Aisha Charles. Thank you so much for making the drive up here.
It was such an honor. I've been able to enjoy Myrtle Beach for a little bit, so it definitely was fun and grateful to be on here today.
Well, we are happy to have you and to talk a little bit more about what you do. You're a muralist.
Yes, I am.
How does one just become a muralist?
Well, I will say that it was definitely my community bleeding into me because I never thought I would join in being in this career field. I actually didn't get into paint until my senior year of high school.
Wow.
But I am self-taught. Like I used to create paint using like ground up leaves I would find in my backyard, berries for the color red and purple. Like my parents always couldn't afford things for me, but they always said don't let that stop you. So I just found things around me to create with. And over time, it was just my peers and my teachers saying, oh my God, you're really talented. Let's put her in position to actually do this when she graduates. And my principal, Dr. Smith, actually was the one who got me into murals for my first time. He said, hey, you're not old enough to put it up, but let's let you design the mural for the gym. So the mural that's in the gym at Westwood High School, I was the one who designed it before I graduated. It was like a graduation gift.
So I went to Blythewood, which is the opposing high school to Westwood. It's a very small world, and you have grown so much since then. How many murals would you say that you have painted over the last couple of years?
I would say probably over 120.
Oh my gosh.
And that's in and out of state.
That is crazy. Also because it's such a big project. Whatever
It is.
you're doing, right? Walk me through your process.
Usually when I get a mural, either someone calls me or they'll send me an email. Half the time I think it's spam. So I literally go on Zoom calls and reach out to them and ask, like, what are you looking for? What's your mission? Because I don't just create artwork that's pretty. It has to have a meaning behind it. So once we come up with everything, if I have to travel, they'll cover all expenses. I'll fly down there and I'll get work done. And the reason why I'm able to do so many is because I'm a quick artist. And it doesn't compromise how much of how pretty something is. Like everything still looks good. So
that is a skill in itself to be able to do something quickly, because I know how long it takes for me to just paint a wall in my house one solid color.
Yes.
To do what you do. How would you describe your art in a couple of words? Your style, if you will.
I would say that art was self-therapy for me as a kid. It was a way for bringing light in my own dark rooms. And now that I can create for everyone else, I just wanted to also be positive. So my mission statement is painting positive vibes on the canvas of life. So really just spreading joy one paint stroke at a time.
I love it. And we have a little bit more time, so before we go, tell me about some of the projects that you're going to be doing in the future where people can see your stuff.
Well, at the moment, I'm working in Orangeburg. We are trying to raise the voices of that community, so I'll actually be doing a giant mural downtown Orangeburg, and it's getting all the residents involved. I'm gonna have the kids come help me paint. Like, it's a big project. And at the moment, I am working on one for their skating rink, and we're doing indoor and outdoor, so it's gonna glow in the dark. Everybody's gonna love it. I just am really excited about everyone to see that. Work for the NFL. I've done work for Netflix. This few months ago, I did work for Paramount Pictures. My artwork's now at Bob Marley's estate. And I'll be painting the Grand Championship for Aja Wilson and Don Staley. And they're going to actually present the art piece to them. So
that is so cool.
Yeah, I'm always
can't even
doing
handle
something.
it. Well, you are just awesome.
Thank
and
you.
Good for you too.
Thank you.
That's
I just
so
want to
cool.
represent my state the best I can, because if it wasn't for South Carolina, I wouldn't be here. So.
Well, that is so fun. Do you have a website?
I have an Instagram that people can reach
Perfect.
me for everything that they might need, and it's Ija_Monet, IJA_MONET.
Don't forget to like our page on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. How to use the QR code. Just open the camera app on your smartphone, iPad, or tablet. Point your device at the QR code so the QR code appears on your screen. Your device will recognize the QR code and show you a notification. Click that notification and you'll come to our website. Living Local Carolina, weekday mornings at 9:30 on WBTW News 13.